MAKS is Russia's largest forum for aerospace vehicles. A true event in the aviation world and among business circles, the main topic on the media landscape. Every time putting a new spin on science and industry. Meeting new partners and old friends. Finally, MAKS is a bright show on land and in the air. Dear participants and guests of MAKS 2015 Aviation and Space Salon, the Russian members of the International Space Station welcome everyone who has devoted their lives to creating and using aerospace machines. Despite the geopolitical situation, MAKS maintains its position among the largest shows in the world. MAKS 2015 International Aviation and Space Salon opened on August 25th. President of Russia Vladimir Putin spoke at the opening ceremony. I'm convinced that irrespective of the current international political situation, MAKS will serve as an effective ground for expert communication, for development of production cooperation, and search for new partners as it used to be. Russia is open for productive business cooperation in the aerospace industry. After the official opening ceremony, Vladimir Putin headed to the exhibition pavilions. Together with Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, and the representatives of official delegations, the President of Russia visited the pavilion dedicated to the domestic aviation industry. The guest viewed the stands of United Aircraft Corporation. The highest priority projects of UAC include MC-21 passenger airplane. The first specimen is being built at the aircraft assembly plant in Irkutsk. 90% of the first MC-21 aircraft body has been assembled. Director General of the Irkut Aircraft Factory, Alexander Reprev, reported to Vladimir Putin during a TV link-up. Series production of MC-21 is expected to be launched in 2017. The air show in Zhukovsky was visited by the Iranian delegation headed by Vice President Sorena Satari. Deputy Prime Minister Dmitry Rogozin showed the Iranian guest the state-of-the-art and promising specimen of aircraft vehicles presented by the United Aircraft Corporation. The first 3 days of the Aviation Salon fully focus on business. On these days, MAKS is open for professionals, delegations, and journalists. They make appointments to meet, negotiate, enter into agreements. One of the major transactions at MAKS 2015 had to do with the supply of Sukhoi Superjet 100 passenger airplane. State Transport Leasing Company signed a firm contract for the supply of 32 machines and an option for 28 more machines with Sukhoi civil aircraft. Also, an agreement for the supply of 2 Superjets for the fleet of Yamal Airlines was signed. Next year, Yamal will get 15 more passenger machines from Sukhoi, a total of 25 machines in the future. 15 Superjets will go to SCAT, Kazakhstan Airlines. Preliminary supply agreements have been signed with Red Wings, Tuva Airlines, and Yakutia Airlines. United Aircraft Corporation also presented its own global forecast of demand for new civil passenger aircraft. This is a remarkable event in the Russian aviation business. UAC has never shared such information with the general public before. In 2015, the International Aviation and Space Salon fully confirmed its status as the platform that brings together professionals from the world's leading aerospace companies. All those who participated earlier certainly have remained permanent participants in our international event. Newcomers include companies from the Czech Republic, Iran. Their numbers have grown. National displays from France, the United States, Belarus, Switzerland, Iran, the Czech Republic, and Belgium were showcased at the Salon. Both domestic and foreign participants have noticed higher business activity in negotiations and meetings as compared to the previous aviation salon. Represented by 24 companies, France is the largest foreign exhibitor. France and Russia started cooperating in the aviation industry as many as 20, 30, and not 5 years ago. Irrespective of the political and economic situation, we have always been and will always be here, be it economic or political crisis. We are interested in business. We are interested in innovation. We will find it all in Russia now. For these very reasons, we find the partnership with Russia very important and place a high priority on it. The Russian presentation of the cutting-edge wide-body jetliner, the Airbus A350, is among the most remarkable events at MAX 2015. An interesting fact about the new jetliner is that 53% of its structure is made from composite materials. The manufacturer claims that the A350 is the quietest twin-engine aircraft in the world. MAX showcased the first flying specimen of the A350, a flying laboratory with test equipment and sensors inside, instead of a habitual cabin with seats for coordinating light parameters in various conditions. The United States was represented by 6 companies, including the Boeing Company. In the course of MAX 2015, Boeing and VSMPO Visma Corporation agreed on the supplies of forged titanium parts from Russia for the new composite wing of the Boeing 777X. President of Boeing in Russia and CIS, Sergei Kravchenko, said, "This agreement strengthens even more the mutual trust that has been built since 1997 between Boeing and VSMPO due to the stable supplies of high-quality titanium parts." Vice President of Boeing Commercial Airplanes, Martin Bentrott, stated, "Russia is and will remain a very important market for Boeing. In the Russian market and the CIS market, we see growth of low-cost airlines, huge progress in the development of aviation infrastructure. We predict an increase in demand for air service and expect this market to grow by approximately 9% in the coming years." The Chinese display grew threefold versus the previous aviation salon. The Chinese delegation included representatives of 10 companies representing local aviation industry. At MAX 2015, Chinese aircraft manufacturers presented the Y-12F turboprop aircraft. It was the first time it has been demonstrated at an air show outside China. Light aircraft of the Y-12 family are designated for a variety of tasks, for example, passenger and freight service or patrolling. At MAX 2015, a representative of Interstate Aviation Committee awarded a Russian-type certificate to the Y-12E turboprop aircraft to the representatives of the Aviation Industry Corporation of China. It is the first time our airline participates in this aviation salon and the first time we demonstrate our aircraft in flight here. We have just been awarded the Russian certificate and hope that Russia and other countries will be happy with our aircraft. We hope that owing to participation in MAKS, our aircraft will win more customers and fly in Russia. For the first time, MAKS 2015 showcased to the general public a full-scale specimen of the PD-14 engine for performing short and medium-haul aircraft of the MC-21 family. Perm-based Avia Dvigatel is the primary designer. The PD-14 test will be launched in 2015 in the Il-76LL Flying Laboratory at the Gromov Flight Research Institute. At MAKS 2015, Russian helicopters presented a Mi-38 multi-purpose helicopter. This is a medium-lift helicopter with new high-performance Russian engines. Serial assembly of the new helicopter has already started in Kazan. The first machine will be delivered to the customer in early 2016. Another novelty at the MAKS 2015 is the cutting-edge Ka-52K airborne helicopter. The machine features a shortened wing, motor blade folding, and air conditioning system, designed for operation in humid marine climate. In the sky, aerobatic maneuvers were performed by the Ka-52 Alligator, overland brother of the Ka-52K, already named NATO's Nightmare. One of the brightest stands at MAKS 2015 was presented by Concern Radio Electronic Technologies, a member of Rostec State Corporation. CRET demonstrated about 450 of its most advanced developments in avionics, electronic warfare, and the associated fields. Since we displayed state-of-the-art products, indeed, top-notch avionics, top-notch electronic warfare systems, and so on, for this reason, the professionals that came here, in our opinion, are very serious and have serious intentions. As compared with the previous MAKS, many representatives perhaps come from the Southeast Asia. We have done a tremendous amount of negotiating with the Chinese side. Serious negotiations have been conducted with India and Iran. Quite a few other countries not just familiarize themselves with our products, but really discuss the prospects for using them for their national benefit. The first day of the exhibition witnessed official handover of new electronic warfare systems to the armed forces of the Russian Federation at the CRET stand. The machinery and equipment delivered to the armed forces as part of defense procurement is worth a total of more than 1 billion rubles. A considerable portion of the aviation salon agenda was devoted to you. The principal goal of the exhibition organizers was to spur interest in aviation and space engineering among youth, to engage them in creative activity in the area of aviation engineering, to encourage them to get education and professional training at Russia's higher education institutions for aviation engineering. For the first time, there was a Students' Day during MAKS. The students of higher and secondary education institutions were offered free entry to the aviation salon. The Off We Go Festival has been held for the first time this year. Best works of school children were presented in the MAKS Special Interactive Display area. The festival organizers are convinced that these works can become the first step of children to their future profession. At the end of MAKS 2015 Day 3, Andrei Baginsky, Deputy Minister of Industry and Trade of the Russian Federation, made a preliminary summary of the aviation salon business agenda. Naturally, this MAKS, the aviation and space salon, focus on several topics, judging from the results of contracts signed. The total cost of contracts for the Sukhoi Superjet 100 jetliners signed during the first 3 days has exceeded $1 billion. I find it to be a significant achievement of United Aircraft Corporation, and accordingly, it will allow loading of the production facilities of Sukhoi civil aircraft. Official business days of the Aviation Salon are over. The contracts and transactions of MAKS 2015 are valued at 350 billion rubles, including cooperation agreements with investment obligations. The cost of transactions as part of military and technical cooperation is kept secret. On Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the Aviation Salon is open to the general public. Traditionally, the static display area at MAKS is enormous. In 2015, 133 units of aviation machinery are displayed on land. This airplane went down in aviation history as Item 144, was designed by the MiG Design Bureau as a multi-purpose jet, fifth-generation prototype. At MAKS 2015, this airplane was presented to the general public for the first time. Spectators could also watch the T-50 fifth-generation jet fighter at its best in the sky. It is also called the PAK-FA, a prospective frontline aircraft system. This airplane was made by Sukhoi Design Bureau. A pair of the legendary Douglas C-47 flew to MAKS, which is a true event for all aviation fans. Douglas is a U.S. military transport aircraft of World War II. It was supplied to the Soviet Union under Lend-Lease. These legendary aircraft not only were in excellent shape, but also flew to Zhukovsky from the United States through Alaska and Siberia along the then famous Al-Sib air route. At MAKS 2015, the Douglas was officially granted to the Central Museum of the Armed Forces of the Russian Federation. MAKS 2015 featured the Yokohama Speed Festival. It is a unique show. Jets and helicopters competed with race cars on acceleration and maneuverability. Races were run by the best domestic drivers, multiple champions of Russia, as well as the winners and honorees of international competitions. Unique demonstration flight program is always a calling card of MAKS. More than 90 aircraft were announced as participants in MAKS 2015 demonstration flight program. Every day, pilots made the spectators stare at the sky. Performance of the aerobatic teams always crowns the airshow demonstration flight program. At MAKS 2015, 7 aerobatic teams, 4 of which represented Russia's aerospace force, demonstrated their skills. The Russian Knights and Swifts need no introduction. They are recognized masters of aerobatics, well known and loved all over the world. The Russian Falcons group is flying above the Aviation Salon's airfield. The aerobatic team of Lipetsk Aviation Center is the only one in the world that has demonstrated the elements of air combat maneuvering on jet fighters. Here come MAK's 2015 newbies. The Tavrida Wings is a very young aerobatic team. The pilots perform on the Yak 130 combat-capable trainer aircraft. The Yak 130 is gradually replacing the L-39 trainer. Yet the Rus aerobatic team is not yet saying goodbye to the Albatross. These aircraft are the group's calling card. The Baltic Bees aerobatic team from Latvia flies the L-39 too. The first flight is Russia's only private aerobatic team that flies piston-engine aircraft. It is composed of professional sportsmen, honorees of national and world championships. The organizers of MAK's 2015 accredited about 4,000 journalists from 580 Russian and 58 foreign mass media, including 43 Russian and 26 foreign TV channels, to work at the salon. For the first time, MAK's 2015 created official accounts of the largest social media. The number of subscribers to these accounts has reached 90,000 people. The total number of MAK's 2015 visitors has reached 404,000 people. The number of spectators hit its peak on Saturday. Typically, this day of the aviation salon has seen the greatest visitor numbers. "72 additional electric trains were arranged from the Kazansky Central Railway Station to carry all those who wanted to attend MAK's. Visitors got off at the Oddych and 42nd train stations and changed to buses. Uninterruptible services helped minimize the time it took to get to the show venue. Those who came to the aviation salon by car were offered intercept parking in Bykova with 15,000 parking spaces. From here, visitors took buses to the MAK's venue. Numerous checkpoints coped with an influx of visitors even during rush hour at the beginning and end of the day. An ad hoc group of some 3,000 employees of the internal affairs agencies and military personnel of the Interior Ministry troops was formed to maintain public order within the Flight Research Institute's area and the city of Zhukovsky. Public order on the city roads and within the show venue was maintained by about 400 employees of the State Traffic Inspectorate. Such meetings, the demonstration of aviation machines, are much awaited events for the Russians. As you can see, foreigners, despite the sanctions, have come here to offer their products too. MAK's is very well organized. We're so happy. In the future, we'll participate in MAK's again.
I expect to come again to see what are the development because, as I said, technology is developing very fast, and I expect with the two coming years that will be so different and will be more impressive and will be maybe more effective.
All the industries of the Russian aviation boast a very high level of aerodynamics research in aerodynamics integrity, in principle especially at Tsagi. Looking at your airplanes and their beauty, they're like your women, so to speak. Even at Le Bourget, we say that many people came, but not as many as here. This alone creates a sense of celebration. It's not just for professionals, but for the great public as well. I'm grateful to all organizers for arranging every 2 years this holiday for aviation. That is such an important industry for this country. It makes a very strong impression. But the planes, they're beyond reach. What they're doing is incredible. It's incredible. As if they're alive. They are alive. Despite the challenging global political situation and the existing sanctions, the industry leaders, domestic and foreign ones, took part in the show. Numerous visitors came, even more than we had predicted. Demonstration flight program was unique, as usual, and nothing was left but due to challenging weather conditions. So you might say that MAKS did take place and was at height, as usual. The traditions of the International Aviation and Space Salon continue. MAKS will be happy to see the guests and participants back. See you in Zhukovsky.